Hello, my dear ones. It is always great to talk with you and spend some time going over cases. Always about the case. You know, how bad is the case? And this sweetheart that wrote the book Still in My Shoes, she was in yesterday. Oh, holy crap. Jesus. When you see what that pharmaceutical did to her, it's gut-wrenching. You know, when we have that bad a karma, and the nice thing about this, guys, those of you that have had some extreme issues, work through them, get them done, and you're done. Don't create any more in this life. Just give love to everything, give respect to everything, give humility to everything, and don't create anything negative. You know, get yourselves, work all this stuff work out. That's why I keep trying to pull you out of your minds and get you more into consciousness, where you're more awake, more aware, you're not chasing thought forms, and you now can fix things at a higher level. And it's your survival of what's coming. It's just, like I said, if you ever get a chance to get this, he's titled this the Matrix of the U.S. Constitution. That ought to freak you out. That's by a judge for those that live in America. Bonnie, I got your letter, sweetheart, and definitely I'll help you. I just haven't had a chance to give you a call. But I'll definitely work with you, sweetheart. I know you're hurting bad there. And this is Greetings from Canada. You ever been to Disney World to your 360-degree screen of Canada? Pretty. Shows you 360 degrees and goes all through Canada. Really beautiful stuff. I can't even begin to express gratitude for the wealth of powerful. Oh, thanks. That'll help me this morning. Thanks. That'll be good. My name is Andrew. Hello, Andrew. I am a nutritionist and have been actively engaged in the natural lifestyle for many years. Yeah. My parents, however, are not quite so on board. Yeah. Yep. I'll drink to that one. Fresh pineapple and orange juice. Thank you very much. This past March, my dad first had a bout of insomnia, followed a few days later by a fever that persisted for a couple of weeks, and then losing strength in his legs. Uh-oh. Well, you know, first thing, when you start getting insomnia, you know where this is at. Insomnia is the pineal gland. The pineal gland is referred to in spirituality as the third eye, what you see on the greenback, or the tisra til. And that is the doorway into the inner worlds, what they call the inner worlds. It's your doorway of getting out. And if you notice when you meditate or pray or contemplate or just relax, right here's where you're looking, not so much here, the third eye. Anyway, when that's down, that's the melatonin gland, right? So when that's down, you can take a granular for that, and maybe 1 or 2 hours before sleep. Here's the problem. When you start seeing multiple symptoms going down, and this is up in the head area, and now he's getting his weakened legs, that's not good. So some of it could be coming from the cerebellum, working around to the central nervous system, and then what system would be down causing this? Would it be his blood would be the problem? You know that wouldn't be the problem, because when you have a withdrawal of blood, or when things are having trouble because of blood, generally death of a cell or of the individual is a result of that. So there's another system that causes all the problems, and this is, of course, why we call all cancers lymphomas, because all this is the lymph system, all these different types of systemic issues that man suffers with, all about mostly about the acid side of chemistry and the lymphatic system. So, sounds like your dad probably on one side just lost his kidneys, filtration, or kidneys are getting worse, and it just boom, just at that moment. Because you can go on and on and on, and you think, I'm healthy, I'm going to look at all these people eating healthy, nothing wrong with me, and bam! And that's just how it happens. It's hard to be preventive. And it's hard to be preventive because of the mind. It generally takes pain or something really bad to change you. That's because how powerful the mind is in its thought forms. When you set thought forms in the mind, they're powerful. If you study music, you'll see why. And you look at the time period of Lawrence Welk, and then you look at the consciousness of the human race at that time, and then you see the advent of Elvis and some of those guys, you know, some of the first rock and rollers, if you will, Chubby Checkers and all those people. They started to enliven and infuse music that would make you want to change. It actually was breaking up thought forms and changing the consciousness, because God uses light and sound. And so music is a very part of the spheres of life. You can hear it inwardly, and that's another thing, another little like spiritual exercise you can do is just listen within yourself. Don't listen so much outwardly. Listen within yourself, and you can tell what plane or where you're at by the type of sounds you can hear. The music, the birds, the humming of bees, the single note of the flute, the orchestras, the winds. There's all levels. There's all kinds of music out there that are as spirit or the prana or the life force moving. As it moves, it sings. This is why in India we chant the word Om. Some of the higher masters out there have found the word Hu, H-U, like Hu or Om. These are just vibrational words that open up the pineal gland and allow you to see some of the things that you're not seeing now because of the closed doors. So, but going back to this, no offense, but now several months later he can no longer walk and is filled with every pill you can imagine. I bet. You know, and this is the thing, when you start seeing symptoms like this is a big deal. This is a central nervous system, probably the cerebellum. So he's probably going into MS or Lou Gehrig's type things here. Probably his adrenals down, kidneys are down, of course, on that side where you see the blowback like that. It took him weeks of hospital stay before he sat up front of a team of 20-plus doctors, and they all agreed that it is mostly like GBS. They don't know, but it's like GBS. Okay, and they had 20-plus docs. Interesting. Gave him a round of globulin therapy and sent him on his way to a rehab facility. Well, that was quick and easy, and it's got a good little pocket change out of that stay. After a couple of weeks, he made no progress, so they sent him back to the hospital for more globulin therapy. Jesus. I should add, this whole time he is so much pain they had him on morphine and at least 2 or sometimes 3 other forms of painkillers. Holy crap. Oh, your dad. Oh, that's not good. I don't like that. And often all of these still would not stop the pain. Isn't that horrible? Oh my God, your poor dad. Also loading him up on blood thinners, of course, wanting to go after an enlarged prostate, and on and on. Right there, told you. When you have prostatitis like that, hypertrophy is enlargement. So when you have hypertrophy, enlargement of something, what makes things swell? Acidosis, edema. And these are the signs of acidosis, is swelling, you know, hypertrophy. And so, what causes it? Kidneys. So you see, his kidneys just kept shutting down, and then you saw the blowback and just hit him all at once. But it's been coming. So, you know, this is more like Lou Gehrig's MS type stuff, in my opinion. But, you know, he could have some ischemia going on to brain tissues. I mean, he could be loaded with stuff. I'm sure he did an EEG and checked all that, and ultrasound, I guess. Also loading, okay, let me see here. Pills to settle the gut and pills to make him poop. Well, you want to get him off of those pills and get him on stomach and bowel number 5. If he's on morphine, of course, any painkiller is going to suppress your nervous system. It's going to make peristalsis suppressed, and of course, it's going to make you more constipated. So that's when you want to use these restoratives. Try to stay away from laxatives, because they'll get him addicted on that. See, it's just a nightmare when you get into the ER and hospitals. I had to take my significant other to the hospital the other night. She had a kidney stone. And a young ER doc. Oh, and I spent a lot of years in ERs with these young ER docs. And I tell you, nightmare from hell. I mean, it's just typical ER stuff where they let you sit hours in pain and take people with cold and flu-like symptoms for just all kinds of crap out there. We have such a problem with hospitals and they're overcharging of people. You don't even want to go into hospitals anymore. They just rape you. It's just a nightmare. And then if you get the wrong docs, like 20 plus docs couldn't figure this out. Unfortunately, I live several hours away and can only get to see my folks once every 6 weeks. Wow. It was in Toronto with them. I would be prepping every meal and getting the real food inside of him. Yeah, that's a problem. If you can get a hold of him, you can pull him out of this easy, honey. After the second round of, oh, I hope this is, let me see who this is. Oh, this is Andrew. What's going on? Let me see, Andrew. Holy crap. At the second round of globulin didn't seem to help much. Finally, they resorted to steroids. You see what I'm saying? I mean, this is all acidosis. So they were headed toward the steroid anyway. You know, they were just playing with globulins. They were headed towards steroids. I can tell you already, headed towards steroids anyway. Well, which will shut down his adrenals even more. Therefore, it'll shut down the kidneys even more, back up the lymph system even more, and therefore the blowback is coming. And it's like, oh, here we go. That same scenario over and over and over. It's like they never learn. And their brothers just found the lymph system in the brain, so they should be questioning, like, hey, how does that lymph system work? We know we can't dump acid, but they're not at that level of thinking. Let me see here. It was reduced the pain in a bit, but he could be looking at weeks, months, and years of steroid therapy. Or a few months of raw detoxification to clean him up, even if it took 6 months, especially if he's moving into something like Lou Gehrig's or something. And also add to that meds to prevent osteoporosis. I bet. With all this started, I wanted him to fast immediately, but unfortunately, my folks are not quite as tuned on as me when it comes to allowing nature to put him back on track. But I tell you what, Andrew, they're going to hurt your dad if you're not careful here. Also, as you know, family are often the last to listen. Always the last to listen. Yeah, so you're doing your best, I think. So I thought I would write you and let them hear what you have to say about the situation. Dad, you're in deep doo-doo, and if you don't get yourself turned around, Andrew, turn you around, you could have some serious repercussion from this because you're involved in the CNS up here, central nervous system, and it's affecting the autonomic. Actually, it's coming from the autonomic up from the adrenals as well. So you've got to get your kidneys on board, get your adrenals up, and start filtering your sewer system out of there because you're swelling, and this is all acidosis. It's suppressing your pineal gland and probably suppressing other neural centers in the brain as well. I'm sure your cerebellum's involved with this, and you just got to get this out of you because there's no chemical, there's no pharmaceutical going to pull you out of this one. They don't have it. You've had plenty of docs to show you already. There's no coming out of this allopathically. That's not their gig. And you, if you want to live and have a good life, you want to make sure you choose the right gig to go down. That's all I can say about that one. At least after many weeks of living between hospital and rehab center, he was finally able to return home, and then my mom had to fall and broke her femur. Holy crap. Well, I think what Andrew is seeing here is just typical of what's going on in the world. Remember, the negative forces are increasing. This is a negative cycle. And in this cycle, this is the world, the New World Order is planning on taking on hold. That's why they have all the prisons in this country. I don't know about in the other parts of the world. America's the big focus because it's so big. A lot of good land and everything. Broke her bones in a poor state, and now she is also unable to walk. Oh, I have also explained more than once in their lives, believe me, the effect of animal protein and dairy consumption on healthy bones. Yeah, you know what? People don't get it. They need to get that. Even with the last study released, people still don't get it. And it's right in their face. The United States Surgeon General, let's see if I've got this article. This goes way back. I've got articles this stacks and stacks. Anyway, it was U.S. Surgeon General C. Everett Koop. When C. Everett Koop was the United States Surgeon General, he came out one time and said, milk is bad for kids. 30, 45 days later, C. Everett Koop isn't the United States Surgeon General, it's the black guy. So, I don't know. You know, C. Everett Koop now, I don't know where he went. He was a pretty good doc, but somewhere I heard he was with Monsanto, which I hope not. But he was telling the truth. As the United States Surgeon General, he was pretty honest. He was being honest with the people. Honesty doesn't pay at this level right now, but sex stuff, isn't it? But he was warning parents back in the, I think it was the 80s or 70s, U.S. Surgeon General, C. Everett Koop, milk may be bad for kids. And there was another one, Dr. Spock. He said milk is bad for kids too. So I mean, these are well-known pediatricians and well-known surgeon generals and things like this, but their words get suppressed. It's all about the money. Man hasn't learned. Paper's paper. Shells are shells. The latest is my dad is suffering from UTI. Of course, you know the kidneys are involved. You know the kidneys are involved. So until he fixes his kidneys and adrenal glands, nothing is going to change in his world. Of course, as his kidneys are probably on the... You hit it. You guys are so smart. Andrew, you guys, you really get it. I really love you guys. You're getting this, and this is just what you're seeing. And if you watch your parents or friends suffering, you'll see it all, and it'll all take you right down to the kidneys again, because that'll be right in your face. So this is what you're seeing here. Doorstep from endless painkillers, steroid, absolutely. Before his cascade of madness started, he had a bit of a heart thing. All right, what kind of heart thing? Like palpitations going on from time to time for a while now. So probably his endos were going down then. And, you know, his adrenals were definitely going down, but his thyroid, parathyroid could have been going down. Now, to look at that, his pineal went down. So it means that maybe even the pituitary went down and kind of suppressed all the other glands. That's real possible too. Let me see here. Chronic gut issues for the couple of years before. You see, when you start looking at someone's history, you start seeing that they've been having different problems for years that lead you into the lymph system. You know, it's gut. Nobody thinks of when someone says you have a heart problem, or they say you have a liver problem. Okay, what part of the liver are you having problems with? What part of the heart are you having troubles with? Because each of these glands or organs or tissues of whatever is nothing but cells, specialized cells, and two fluids. So you have two energy flows in all tissues, blood, nerve, and lymph. Blood, nerve, and lymph are the three main energy flows that sustain life and keep life moving and feed life energy and clean life. So when you look at things, you have to turn things on, that's electricity. You've got to feed things, that's nutrition, and you've got to clean things, and that's a proper elimination. And that's obvious. So that's obvious what your human body has to do, go through these same things. Your car motor has to do these same things. Everything has to have these components to it. When these components are suppressed, when the blood flow is suppressed, that's not fun. That's serious. When the lymph flow is suppressed, that's painful, and then that's hellville. That's years of hellville. At least when you die from a blood problem, that's quick. But lymph is hell. That's acidosis. And the pain, the suffering, the immobilities, the loss of vision, hearing. I mean, you can go on and on and on and on. How about the nervous system? Not fun to have a nervous system down, is it? And some people are so wigged out neurologically. We have a young lady, I don't know. I don't know. This one lady, I don't know. I don't know if we can help her. And I've never said that in my entire life. 40 some years I never said that. This is an individual that is full body tattooed. This is an individual that, you know, just like a lot of people, myself included, went through some drugs and things, although I didn't do cocaine and nuts and stuff like that. But, you know, I smoked the weed before. I've done window pane, LSD. I've done mushrooms in my past. But that's what you do to break sometimes, to break the chain. When you wake up and realize, hey, I can do these things naturally. I'm the one. I can have any level I want. I can learn how to open my consciousness, and I can get as high and buzzed as I want, relax as I want. I can do whatever I want. Sometimes it takes something like a drug or something like that to you know, Timothy Leary you. But let me see. That electrical system is vital. And when you start doing too many neurotoxins, you can get yourself in some serious shape. And this person is, I've never seen anybody so advanced. I mean, it's just flicking every time. Everything's flicking, and nothing is, I can't even explain this case. It's unreal. It's beyond frustrating. And it's some of the places we can get ourselves into. And these tattoos, you be very careful. This is full body tattoo, extreme ink toxicity. This poor soul is way out there in Sufferingville. I mean, so far out, I don't know what to say about it. Jesus Christ. Whew. Makes a person want to drink. Please speak it to the YouTube on my behalf to them. You got it, Andrew, no question. And let your parents read a lot of the other, look at a lot of the other videos, because your dad's in serious trouble. And the AMA, just they don't know anything about causative factors. They're going to keep trying to treat until they're trying to stabilize, but you can't stabilize in a deterioration method. When you're at the chronic and degenerative levels, which is where your dad's at, there's no treating that. And the use of steroids will shut his adrenals down even more, and he'll get himself locked in a corner where it'll be very serious to get him out. So this is some of the problems. And steroids are what? Anti-inflammatories, right? So they're thinking the core of it's inflammation, right? They're right. But what causes inflammation? Inflammation is a body's natural immune response, right? Right. Now what causes that? Proteins, acids. That is the main immune response that the body goes through. And so this is what it's all set up to do that, though. And proteins is man's biggest problem, not his biggest goodies, his biggest problem. Look at the gorillas. They can rip a lion apart, and they just eat fruit. Some eat salads, depends where they are. You got to realize, your animals of the veggie type are some of the most powerful animals on the planet. Not your cats. These are the weaker animals. Lower endurance, all these things like that. I know if I lived with them, I would have them on just the fruits, berries, and melons, and well on the green drinks and smoothies. Yeah, that's what he needs to do. He needs to do this because this is a little more serious. Now, you can try deworming and see if he'll do that. But Dad, you really, if this is really what I think it is, you're in deep trouble, son. You got to take care of yourself, or you're gonna be debilitated and in a chair. But I've told you cases where it was parasitically involved, so you want to deworm him no matter what. And if you won't do anything but deworm him just to see that he hasn't got a worm infestation or something. And it can get in the head, this blood-brain barrier bullcrap. You're going to have worms in the head. Remember, I had a case where I had, from the medical doctors, called tapeworm in a woman's head. Tapeworm in the brain. This is from India. I was like, what? Never heard of that. My main concern will be transitioning from all the drugs and any interreactions potentially. Well, that's not difficult. We can help you with that. That's not difficult. Have to be a club member, of course. But, you know, when you start taking on stuff, most medications are not difficult to get rid of. These are pharmaceuticals that have very, very bad side effects. So getting rid of them sooner than later is always a good thing, in my opinion. Now, steroids are a little different because they're suppressing your adrenals. If you come off of them, you wake up to suppressed adrenals. Well, that's blood pressure, blood sugar, mineral utilization. What all does your adrenal glands do for you? Bunches and bunches and bunches. So that's the glands you're suppressing. And all for the sake of the system they control, which is the lymph system, which is the system of inflammation. But it's the system of acidosis, and acids are cell waste, metabolitic waste, like sewage going through your exhaust system on your car. Your body uses your lymph system as its exhaust system. That's simple. That's your main sewer system, is your lymphatic system. And if you don't fix it, the symptoms are hell, as most of you can testify. So, Dad, get yourself straightened around here. Thanks infinitely for your, thanks endlessly. Thank you, Andrew. Love you, man. Get your dad straightened around, if you can. You know, the sad thing is, now, you know this soul. I'm sure you've been traveling with him for a while. So you might have to go on the inner and communicate with that soul a little more. There's a little technique that you guys can get used to doing, is communicate with the individual at another level. Sometimes if you can go in meditation and communicate with them, they will get that message. It might take you a few days to get it back, but they can get the message. You always want to talk. You always want to use the inner worlds and go right to their mental body or their emotional body and talk with talk with them that level. You'd be surprised the effectiveness of that. Because we all have minds, we all have emotions, and we all have bodies on all these levels. Nobody's free from that. Thanks for all. Let's see who this is. Well, I get calling Andrew Sweethearts. Yeah, this is a B. So this is B. My pH from the first urine in the morning has been hovering around 7.5. One day it was 8.5. Yuck. What is, if any, the normal pH you'd be looking for? Anything above 7.5? Not at all. Matter of fact, your urine wants to be in the low 6s. You don't want to have alkaline urine, but you, as a rule, that when you go on a raw food diet, if you're not filtering in your kidneys, you'll go into alkaline urines. I've said this before. I think this is important in one sense because healing takes place under the alkaline sky. And even though the kidneys are used to being an acidic chamber, not too acidic. It's like the stomach. These are acid chambers, but not too acidic because you can still ulcerate and break down gastric tissue as you can urinary tract tissue. So your pHs have to be within a kind of a smaller area. So 6 pH is better. There's a book, Alkalize or Die, I think it was called, one of these written by, I think, a medical doctor or something, but he was thinking that the pH of the urine should be about 5.5. I find in the 5s a little too acidic myself. You can still get UTIs and stuff in the 5s, and so you definitely don't want any lower than that because you'll really get the burn. When you get these UTIs and stuff, that's interstitial. That's your 3 pH burn from the cell. Those are not fun burns. And that's a cancer burn. These are the burns that break down cells. So, that's the problem. So urine should be in the low 6s, in my opinion. If you got good bacterial action in your lymph nodes, you should have in the low 6s. And you won't be on your knees peeing. Now, your saliva, though, should be base. Should be in the 7.5 to 8s. You shouldn't see too much more than 8 pHs in the body because you start really getting into alkalosis if you do. So you kind of want to keep those magic pHs, I think, between 6 and 8, 6 and 8.5 or something like that. It's a good, comfortable range in. I think, like I said, if someone out there knows the pH of estrogen, I'd like to know that. I'm thinking it's in the 4s to 5s. But thanks for all your intent and commitment, Dr. Morse. You're greatly appreciated. Thank you, my friend. Thank you much. My story, while visiting Australia in 2006, I was diagnosed with acute renal failure. Here's the kidneys again. When you start looking at them, it's all over the place, isn't it? It's all over the place. And when we understand, whether they believe it or not, when you understand your kidneys are eliminative organs of the metabolitic waste of the body, makes it a real big deal, doesn't it? And especially when you start to be in renal failure, and all that implies. Oh my God. Due to having an enlarged prostate for years, so we know this is a male. So you know that you have to realize it wasn't the prostate that caused the renal failure. It was the renal failure that's caused the prostate. It just wasn't bad enough to be in your face like it is right now. It's always been the kidney problems for the prostate, my friend, as it is for women's ovaries and uterus. Whenever you have ovarian cysts or fibroids or endometriosis and atypical cells, this is all your kidneys. And the same thing here with prostatitis and, testicular enlargements and things like this. It's all kidneys. And so your kidney was the problem in the first place. And having to push when peeing, that's because you're so swollen. Again, acidosis breeds inflammation, but it's not the inflammation that causes the swelling, it's the acidosis that does. And that's how the body, you've got to correct acidosis because acidosis destroys. Remember, acids are corrosive in nature. And if you don't neutralize them, you suffer. That's the gig. And it's the same with car exhaust. It's the same all over this planet. You can't live in an acid planet. No way. That's what makes this planet flourishing, is the pHs are in balance. Man is drastically changing this. and it changes weather patterns. This led to the urine buildup, enlarging the urethra tube, so I was peeing back into the kidneys. Yep, for years. Not good. No, it's not good. The whole thing is swelling there. It's not just from the prostate. The kidneys was the problem in the beginning, not the prostate. The kidney caused the prostate problem, which then caused everything else. The urethras, the ureters, they all swell, not from the prostate. It's all coming from the kidneys. It's all coming from the kidneys. They're the babies. They're the babies. And when you back up urine and kidneys, that's not good either. Nicely, though, kidneys are rebuildable. All acid tissues are very rebuildable under the alkaline sky. You can rebuild stomach, gastric tissue real easy, liver tissue real easy, kidney tissue real easy. Most tissues are not difficult to rebuild. Neurological being the top of the heap, of course. I had a blood run-up there thinking I had parasites from traveling in South America and feel very tired after slight energy exchanges. I do cranial-sacral. Well, you want to deworm yourself anyway. You always want to deworm yourself about every 2 years. Big deal. I mean, it doesn't hurt. And you always want to just kind of clean yourself out and deworm yourself. So parasite M&G, deworm yourself. Especially if you've been traveling. Then just make it part of your program. The doctor, after seeing the number, said, you need to go into the hospital at once or you'll be dead in 1 month. Bit of a shocker. Yeah, I bet it was. What was it? It meant to be creatinine, right? So I went in and got the catheter, but put in and stayed for 3 days. Catheters hurt a lot, especially when you're swollen and inflamed. Damn. Couldn't wait to get out of the hospital. Know that feeling. And I would love to create the first naturopathic hospital in America. I've always wanted that, the first naturopathic hospital. Such a difference. Such a difference. You will love to go into a naturopathic hospital because you'll run out going, yahoo! I feel good. I started looking around for treatments and finally settled on a HoLep laser treatment in New Zealand. Holy crap, what was that? I went there and got it from the man who invented it, but it only worked for about 1 month. See what I'm saying? You can't treat your problems. I don't care with machines or anything else. You just got to be real careful. You just got to roll up your sleeves, change your diet like you're supposed to, get back on a tropical diet, which is where we're from, and just watch the magic. Use herbs to get into the specific tissues, into the kidneys, the lymph, the bowels, the liver, clean them up, rebuild them, and you've got a new body. You can't beat that. But we try to treat our problems, and that's where the problem is. There's a lot of people like this guy in New Zealand, all over the world, with all kinds of things. But you got to roll up your sleeves and fix it, or this is just the case. Good for a month, good for this, good for that, and some treatments actually exacerbate the problem. I then had an emergency TURP operation, also in NZ. A large chunk of prostate was taken out. Here's the problem with TURPs, my friend. It's a room job. So when you swell, just think of a rotor-rooter. Oh, look, I got a new hole. Oh, look, it's swelling up again. Here's another TURP. Now, in an acidic medium, what tends to take place? The packing of cells. We call that scar tissue. So, the problem with where you're at, my friend, is that if you do too many TURPs, you will end up not peeing at all because you'll be so scarred up you can't pee at all. I've seen this many times, and it's just madness because no one's focusing on your problem. They're treating you, and the way they treat gives remedy, but at what cost? The only symptoms I've had indicating trouble was the pushing, and one had a case of edema. Hey, you got to get this fixed. Period. End of story. Which appeared after a long bus ride in Mexico about 1 year earlier. That went away after a few days of rest. Well, you see how your body's been backing up lymphatically a little at a time from these kidneys. You have prostatitis from that. Of course, you know what the next step is from that. So the longer you have these acids in there, the more it can become intracellular, and that's where you don't want. That's what you don't want. The fix is the same, though. The edema hadn't reappeared until this last week, and after starting the use kit number 1 in GI Broom, I've been on fruit with the little lettuce and avocados for 4 weeks and started the kit number 1 2 weeks ago. Now each day the edema appears in the lower left foot and sometimes in the right foot. Oh yeah. Oh, let me tell you, you really want to hit this. And I'll tell you what will help you increase your kidney formulas. If you're doing 3 dropperfuls a day, that's a dropperful 3 times a day, go to a dropper and a half to 2 dropperfuls 4 times a day. Kick those kidney formulas up. See if you can blow these kidneys open, and that'll start reducing this edema quicker. This is just edema from your kidney problems. You're just seeing, because when you start correcting your problems, you start seeing them. One of the things of detoxification, guys, is that your problems can right in your face. So it's like that lady with the skin blowing all over. When you back up lymphatically, you're in dangerous territory. And when your thyroid is down and your kidneys are down both, you start getting in trouble because your skin backs up subcutaneously. That's a sewage dump. And then, of course, you do all around the body. So then when you go to start detoxing, your skin can explode because now you're hydrating, you're opening everything out, you're astringing your body, and everything is starting to go out. And you can't get upset at what you see because it isn't the detox doing it, it's you that did this. You didn't know you were doing this, but this is what wrong diets do. And it's just we have to clean this stuff out of us or you can't get well. You can treat your symptoms, but as you get seeing, and the beauty of this is you get to see all these people that are suffering and what they've done, and after a while it should register in you that when you go allopathically, your life is in your own hands. Scary stuff, and it shouldn't be that way. We all need to get, whether you're a medical doctor, naturopath, I don't give a hoot, we all need to get on board with the lymph systems and get rid of these killer pharmaceuticals. Keep the ones that are good, though. That should be going on right now. You don't have to have 1,000,000 different pharmaceuticals. I don't have to have 1,000,000 different herbal formulas. If your focus is correct, you just need a few tools and you've got it. Now each day the edema appears in the lower left foot and sometimes in the right. It comes and goes, but it appears is highly troubling. That's kidney failure, man. I wonder if you might think this is a healing crisis of sorts. Well, you're moving things, and so it's just the waxing and waning of your kidneys. But it shows you that you have kidney problems. But everything you've talked about here has been your kidneys all along here. You finally went into renal failure. That's the problem with this. It's why you guys are so important, and this channel is so important to get this understanding of the kidneys out there. So people don't waste their time treating their symptoms with pharmaceuticals and not doing anything to help the kidneys because they'll just keep failing on you. And some people then walk into dialysis. When you quit peeing, it's a nightmare from hell. Yeah, I don't care if it takes a little self-discipline to eat some fruit for about 6 months of your life to fix everything, as opposed to renal failure. I did get some exercise walking, but maybe not enough. Be careful with that till you're filtering. I noticed, too, that my lower feet and ankles get very dry, scaly. Maybe you're dehydrated. That's all interstitial acidosis. I put coconut oil on that, and it helps. Well, you know, that's a system that you have, a system of oils, and you're dehydrated. So, but it comes back. Yeah, you got to clean this whole system in your head to toe. See how you're seeing it in the feet now? It's just head to toe. You don't want to see it up here. I put coconut oil. Okay, let me see here. I also tend to get these bruise spots. I tend to get these bruise spots on my left arm, indicating to me that left kidney and maybe liver. Wow. Just one at a time, but still, I do drink some coffee, and I think this may cause harm to the adrenals. It causes harm to your kidneys big time. If you're trying to fix your kidneys, you do not drink coffee or tea or pop or anything like that. Those are kidney killers. You don't do that. And let me say this. That bruising, you want to take a look at this because that could be your parathyroid gland. That means your capillaries are getting very thin and you're bruising like this. That's not good. That's called petechia, and that's a whole nother problem. So you want to look at your parathyroid here. You could be going down with your thyroid, parathyroid with all this lymphatic problem, and then of course that's affecting your calcium. Being so acidic, you're losing your capillary integrity, and you're bruising easy. Specks and mucus. Let's see, mostly specks and mucus. Good, 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 good. At least you're getting some filtration. My last blood test of 2014 show not good. Bun at 47. 47 bun. Holy crap, man. That should only be 3 or 4. If you're raw foods, 3 or 4. If you're eating meat 1 time a day, maybe 10 to 12 bun. But even if you're eating meat 2 times a day, it shouldn't be over 18. 47. That's urea nitrogens. That's your protein waste. Up from 29. Holy crap, man. Now you got to get these proteins out of your body, and you don't want to be eating any. Worst thing you could do right now is eat proteins. You want to test me on that? Go on 1 month of all raw, and go on 1 month of protein. You tell me how. Of course, I wouldn't if I was you. Now let's see. Creatinine is. Oh, check this out. Creatinine is 1.96, up from 1.90. Well, you crept up. You know, you're a 600th of a percent. You're almost 2, bro. This is serious stuff. You're in serious trouble with your kidneys, man. 1 more up, and that won't take long to get there. You'll be going to dialysis. I'm telling you, you're walking real quick to dialysis right now, man. Remember how you were so restricted and they did a TURP on you? Well, pretty soon you won't pee at all. So this is not good. You want to hit this with fruits, berries, and melons and get on these herbal detox programs and get yourself cleaned up here. That's not good. GFR 34, down from 36. Potassium 5.3. Well, not worried about that so much. That's your kidneys, though. You had a CO2 of 22. Now, CO2 is carbon dioxide. However, they mean bicarbonate. So when you see CO2 on your blood work, that's not what they mean. They mean bicarbonate, even though they wrote CO2. Now, some labs are actually starting to write bicarbonate because some people are getting confused with that. I would too. Put what you mean, say what you mean, don't say what you don't mean. And that's what it is on these blood workup. That's your bicarbonate, and that's low. Now, bicarbonate comes out of the pancreatic duct. So your pancreas could be a little bit down. We need to take a look at that and maybe get that up. You could, again, do a sprinkle, get some baking soda, aluminum-free baking soda, pinch in your herbs or pinch in your drinks a little bit, bring up your bicarbonate, which will help alkalize you faster, help reduce inflammation faster, help reduce swelling faster. So you could do a little bit of that and maybe work on your pancreas while you're working on your cleaning your bowels and your kidneys and all that. Go on a pancreatic formula for a month or 2 and see if you can't bring your bicarbonate up. I also have major cholesterol. I also have major cholesterol rings in my eyes with a cholesterol count of 210. Doesn't matter what your count is. You got cholesterol rings in your eye, my friend. My God, man, you're in trouble here. You got to get your act together here. You upper circulation, lower circulation, mandatory. You want to go on those now. If you got a cholesterol ring in your eyes, guys, you want to go on circulatory formulas and try to keep yourself from stroking or heart attacks. I'm dead serious. When you see a cholesterol ring in your iris, go around the outside, the white ring, not good. It doesn't matter what your friggin' blood shows. That's what you're plaquing. And you're plaquing only because of what? Acidosis. But look at your case. You're in kidney failure. It's backed up your lymph system head to toe. It's a real problem. You really got to get yourself focusing on these programs, my friend. You're in trouble here. The triglyceride count, I don't care. 163, while the LDL, who cares? Alkaline phosphatase is 228. Alkaline phosphatase is liver, bone, or kidney. Either 3. So when you see your blood work and you see alkaline phosphatase, LAK, you want to look at the liver enzymes below it. AST, ALT, SGOT, those are your liver enzymes. You want to see if the liver enzymes are in really good shape, and you want your liver enzymes between 15 and 20, both of them. That's within normal ranges and a little lower. That's better. Healthy livers have a good 13, 15 liver enzymes, ALT and AST. Alkaline phosphatase, 40 to 60. I like that range. But when you're getting up there. If you got normal liver enzymes and you're having renal problems or bone problems, that's when you're kind of looking at alkaline phosphatase a little differently. Needless to say, you want to dive in. Now, you're on kit number 2 this week. Good. Really get your butt moving on this. But you want, can't remember what's in your kit, but you want upper circ and lower circulation. You want that right now. So if you don't have those in your kit, you want to get on them. You want to keep yourself from stroking. Also, the lower circ will move blood aggressively through the kidneys and the prostate and the pancreas and everywhere else. This will help bring energy to these areas, but that's not the cause of the problem. The cause of the problem is the sewer system. And your sewer system is backed up all over the place, and that is serious. And it's been backed up for years. When you see a cholesterol ring around the eye, you've been backed up for years. Serious stuff here, guys. Very serious stuff here. This is a serious case. The GI broom is powerful. My stools are not formed and come out very loose. Cut down on that a little bit because I don't like too loose of stools. I like nice formed stools, but not hard. I like to have nice, clean bowel movements. My stools are okay. Again, the question is, along with the edema showing up and the pain in the head, excuse me, sometimes at night, the dizziness, and during mid-afternoon, cerebellum, my friend, is just what we were talking about. You're backed up in the head, the cerebellum, the pineal, you're backed up all here. Cold packs to the back of the head, work the neurolymphatic points down your spine. You got to get yourself on the bull, lock down, get ready to hit the grape fast. I'd put myself on a 20-day grape fast right now, at least a 10-day, right now. Right now. Don't wait. There's no buts. You do it right now. You're in kidney failure, you're stroking a heart attack at any time. I mean, I hate to tell you the negative side of this stuff because the positive side is you can fix all this. But to fix it, you need to do it right now, my friend. And I know you're working on it. You got kit too. Make sure your upper and lower circulation. Okay, so the dizziness during mid-afternoon, which attribute to a healing crisis. Would you consider this to be an indicator of a healing crisis? No. Could be. Could be. But it's indicative of what's going on with you. You're backed up in the cerebellum, whether it's a healing crisis or it's getting worse. You know, until you get your kidneys filtering, you can be on all raw, all herbs, and get worse and worse and worse. Just because you go on these things don't make it all better. You've got to get it timed to work. You've got to get your kidneys filtering. You've got to get in there. There's no magic. Oh, there's some cool magic in places, I guess. But anyway, chemistry and physics rules the day here on this planet. And you got to use that to fix your problems. You can wish it away. You can use positive thinking like a lot of spiritual people. And you can work out, I know, which is positive thinking. I know I will be well tomorrow. But your physical body's in the physical world dealing in physical laws. And the people that get remedied by doing the positive thinking is next to none. So you really want to roll up your sleeves and use the tools of the world within the body that's in trouble. And your physical body's in trouble. Sounds like your emotional body's is too. But your physical body's in trouble. You got to fix it with the chemistry of the physical world. I do have the all tea and use it. I would. I also have some burdock and yellow dock, burberry root tea from a local herb store. I love those. That'd be good for you for sure. For sure. Might help the pancreas too, believe it or not. Yeah, glad to have that too. Also have some licorice sticks. Yeah, that's definitely going to help you. I mean, this is adrenal kidney all the way home here, my friend. But I hear that can harm the liver if taken a lot. You know, that's... Again, the FDA and their insanity blaming, of course they don't, obviously part of the New World Order thinkers, so they don't want herbs. So if there's an alkaloid in an herb, they can even make people get scared over an alkaloid herb. All herbs have alkaloids in them, sorry. But if you don't extract the alkaloid, you have your buffers, everything is great. The herb has its medicinal values and alkaloids have its values on the liver. It's just if you isolate these. Only pharmaceutical companies play that game. Of course, supplement makers, you know, they do. We do in naturopath. We do isolate chemistry, which I'm totally against, unless it's something that a very stat need, like a morphine. Also have some. Okay, but I hear that. Okay, again, thanks for. Oh, thanks, my friend. This is Bo. We're about the same age. Maybe we saw each other at Woodstock. It's possible. I'll say this. I was rocking and rolling. I had me a rock and roll band back then. I'm a 12-stringer and a organ and trumpet player. Yeah, my mom made us play, my sister and I play piano an hour every day. Of course, with migraines, growing up with migraines, drinking milk and stuff, playing the piano for an hour a day, and then I had band, so I had trumpet an hour, and then I had my band and I had my guitar, so my high school was music. Hi, Dr. Morse. You answered my question about my gut, but I started developing very strange and bad neurological disorders, which were always kind of there, but now they build up to where it's all over the place. Remember, your stomach and solar plexus here is a brain, a neurological brain. And if I hit that brain, I can lose my breath, I can pass out, because that's the autonomic brain. And that autonomic brain gets its neurotransmitters fed from the adrenal glands. You've got neurotransmitters, serotonin's in the central, but this autonomic reaches in the stomach. So if you have an inflamed stomach, small bowel, you could have heart palpitations from that, shortness of breath from that, all kinds of neurological wackies, because this is a big deal. And then, of course, the cerebellum. You can see moons and stars from that one. So, I mean, this is a big deal here, guys. So you just got to get these acids out. And you can't get acids out of the body by eating acids. So acid-forming foods have to go. Doesn't it make sense? So acid-forming foods. All meat products, all dairy products, mostly all grain products, and if they were alkalizing like quinoa or millet, you're still a starch, a polysaccharide, so that's not good. Then you've got all your beans are acids, and of course they're all high phytic acids. They're all, you have to sprout them at all to get into the veggie side of things, and then you're into veggies. And vegetables are more for earth-oriented beings like your elephants and your horses, your bigger, muscular, stockier people. But the humans are more neural. Notice we're not really rippers or anything. We're more neurological and brainers, so we need the energy from fruits, berries, and melons to feed that. Take a look at that. When you understand energy and consciousness, you'll see why man is at the level he is. He's still at the animalistic level emotionally and things. Look, we still are cutting off people's heads. We're still killing women and kids for ideologies that are ridiculous. I don't care who you are or where you are. We did that in every country's done that almost. So it's not about people and places. It's just the level of consciousness we all have to pull ourselves out of. I don't care where you live. It's just the things you have to do. This is what makes this planet the way it is. Let me see before I get tied up here. I got to go here in just a minute. I was going to do an hour one. Let me see. I am getting very strong spasms when I try to rest or sleep, and it gets so bad. Well, I'd say get on our neuromuscular spasms. We have an herbal antispasmodic. I'd get on that right now. At the same time, I'd also go brain and nerve number 2, upper circulation. That'd be what I'd be doing. At the same time, I'm going to get onto my kidneys and my adrenal glands. I want my adrenal glands to get my neurotransmitters up, because the better neurotransmitters, it's hard to understand. You think more neurotransmitters, the more neural. No. The more neurotransmitters, the more peaceful. The more neurotransmission is natural instead of synthetic. That's where synthetic B vitamins can hurt you. They create a synthetic electrical arch over the nerve synapses as opposed to natural Bs. There's all kinds of things out there. That's why I don't like supplements. Oh, so here's another head problem. Oh my God. My head will move to the right side by itself, and it just jolt like this, and the deeper I go into a restful sleep, the stronger and more repetitive it gets. Oh my God. Well, you know what? The deeper you go, you might be seeing your blood pressure going down, 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 your neurotransmitters going down. It makes your nervous system very spastic. I mean, that could be interesting to strap a blood pressure monitor on you and watch your blood pressure as you're going to sleep. Matter of another thing, I don't know if you tried a 24-hour Holter monitor, but that would be very interesting too, to see what your heart's doing over a 24-hour period. So you might want to go to a cardiologist and have them strap a Holter monitor on you. Take a look at it. It's the same when I try to meditate or relax deeply. And the problem with that is that, and this is the adrenal glands, when you can get real rested, your blood pressure can go real low. You can go right on out. And this is a big problem. So you want to get some adrenal gland and licorice root. I don't put licorice root. I did in the past, but I tried to keep the licorice root out of the adrenals because people have high blood pressure and adrenal problems. If I don't want to use glandulars, I can only go to the herbs. And so if I want to use the herbs in a high blood pressure case, I can't if it has the licorice. So I took the licorice out. We use it separately. But that's what I'd be using. I'd be hitting the adrenal formula and licorice root. And you couldn't hurt just to do even a glandular on top of that, say about 200, just for one bottle to wake up some things. At the same time, you want to go after your kidneys. You want to go to antispasmodic work, but brain and nerve and upper circulation. Turn on things. Oxygenate and turn on. Energy and chemistry turns things on or off. As a rule, base alkaline turns on, acids turn off. It goes on like this for hours and never stops. Even when I flat out pass out, thought so, because I'm so tired from getting my head spasming oh my God. Now, cold applications, the back of the head, neurolymphatic points down your back. Work those points. Have somebody work those points, bro. I mean, go full bore after your body. Get your sinus to candle your ears. All right? Try to open and reduce. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Get on your raw. Get on your fruits, berries, and melons. Clean up the gut so the sinuses can drain. Get your kidneys filtering. Get your adrenals up so your nervous system will become strong again. Clean up your gut so you can fix the stomach area and that ganglia. See where we're going with this? It goes on. Okay. God, boy, some of you guys got some really nasty stuff here. Head spasming all over, back and forth like I was having a seizure. I basically have dreams, and yet I can feel my head spasming still, going on and on. God dang, man. And I even dream of the spasms while it's happening sometimes too. It is that bad. Holy crap. Well, you definitely want to be on the antispasmodic, but go after these things and that'll come out of there. Sometimes I wonder if it can even be that real, and it appears to be. It seems so intense. You did a scan of the head yet? See if you have a tumor? Be true that looking at seizure videos, it appears so. By 6 a.m., it builds up to different spasms, which I get the severe jolt in the neck to where it feels like a thunderstorm in my whole head, and my body will jolt, move by itself by exhaustion for 2 or 3 seconds, then happen when I believe I'm sleeping or too passed out to really know what's going on. Jesus criminy, bro. I've been on local sweet cantaloupe and dark greens for 2 months. Get rid of the dark greens. Man, you've got to get to the fruits, berries, and melons. You'll see a huge difference. And that'll relax the spasticity a little bit. And this is another thing. When you're so acidic and so low neurotransmitters that you're so spastic like this, you want fruits, berries, and melons. Because neurologically, they are the top of the energetic foods on the planet. This will support and help you from jerking so much. The fruits are very powerful neurologically speaking. And the berries are all the power hogs. They're the glandulars. They're the power hogs. So plenty of blueberries and blackberries, that sort of thing. But you got to fix this one. So you can use some things to help symptomatically, but you want to get into your body and fix this. Jesus criminy. This is horrible. Holy crap. Whoo-wee. These neurological problems are just getting worse. I've tried glandulars, no change. Nah, this and that. No. I've tried wild berries. No. You've got a whole focus you want to do. You can't just try one thing and try to see if it'll help. A whole focus. But you want it on an antispasmodic. If you have to take it as often as you want, you can take a dropper full every hour, or a half a dropper full every hour. Who cares? But you want to try to control that at the same time, feed that. Turn that system back on. You need neurotransmitters to do that. And where are you going to go to do that? Top and bottom. Top CNS, bottom adrenals. Well, you're going to go up with brain and nerve number 2, that's CNS, and upper circ, that's oxygen and energy. Turn everything on. As things strengthen, things relax. As things weaken, they get hyperactive. It's the opposite of what you think. Turmeric cooked food, nothing seems to be helping. No, none of that's going to help. I help to accept marijuana, which I only started in the last month, but that's no close to helping either. Nah, it's not going to help. And the only way that would help is if you tinctured it or something that way. If you smoked it, that could exacerbate your spasms because that's acidic. Also, Xanax helps, but I've only took twice in the last 6 months. I stopped for 2 months starting in February. Okay. It's enough to say, my friend. Obviously, I agree with you, you're in trouble. So you got to do these things I'm suggesting. It'll get you out of trouble. Let me see here. Let me see a point. But now I get to the point of being intolerable. Let me see. People on the FB have told me to try all sorts of things, like B12 shots, natural vitamin supplements. Bull crap. You've got to get into your body and clean it and rebuild it. And you can't treat problems like this. You take antispasmodics, but if you don't fix it, it just gets worse. As you're seeing, it's getting worse. And this is the problem. This is what I warn you guys about. Oh, so you got seizures in the head, twisting in the head, da-da-da-da-da. You're really, some very advanced problems. So just take some B12, natural vitamin supplements. Go on a few grapes here. Try some cooked foods. That'll help. Cooked foods, that'll make you spasm more. And every time you take nerve energy out of your body, you're going to have more spasticity, not less. That's not good. Stopping grapes and try some greens? Not on your life. You want to do the opposite, man. You'll get yourself in trouble. Anybody telling you to stop fruits, berries, and melons, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Also, all my gums are swelling and red, and they feel very sore. My teeth are all rotting, and I have pus coming out of my gums. Bro, you're one big pus. My God. So that's what it's like in your brain. You see why your nervous system's twitching? Yeah, pus coming out of your gums? Jesus Christ, you're in bad shape, lymphatically speaking. I don't know what your eyes look like, but holy crap. Oh my God. All right, my teeth are rotting. So whoever gave you this advice took you off of the road that you were walking down to heal and put you on some stupid crap. I mean, this is what's going out there. And if you guys fall into this, you'll lose your ability to heal people. And you'll lose your own health. You got to be real careful. You're going to see Dan and you're going to see David. You're going to see those people coming back, hopefully. I didn't understand because I started May 14 after coming off a red meat diet and almost killed me. Then I went on fruits for months, bananas, grapes, melons, oranges, and seeing as my gut and energy wasn't getting better, I water fasted for 3 weeks and beginning of August. Then seeing as the gut pain was even worse, after fasting, I added canned sardines and sprouted buckwheat. Well, here's the problem, all right? When you go on fruits, berries, and melons and you still don't see the remedy, then you'll understand why I use botanicals. Because going back on sardines, you're going back on things that are causing the problem. But here's the thing now. Sometimes it's like a ulcer. Sometimes when you feed an ulcer, you feel good. You can't feel the ulcer anymore. When you fast, ow, I feel that ulcer. It's an illusion. And the same way, some of you, when you go on fruits, you get this hunger feeling you feel. And it can come over you like you want to have a belch. It's a gas. It's a thing. So there's a certain, I don't know what to explain, coming off of an omnivorous diet like that, going on a fruit diet, you can feel your stomach rolling and your bowels moving, your liver churning. You can feel some changes going on. Heck yeah, big changes going on in the body. But you've got to work that out. You can't just go, oh no, and then go back to what's causing the problems. Or some supplement crap like B12. God. And just fasting and stuff, when you're inflamed, that's not good either. This is why I don't recommend water fasting at these advanced states of problems. Back in the hygienic day, okay, we weren't so much into chronic and degenerative problems. We were more subacute and acute. Easier. Now we're in chronic and degenerative. You don't fast in these levels, my opinion. You get chemistry in there, living, vibrant chemistry in there. For another 4 months, and 1 month or so on Budwick diet. Oh my God. I didn't even know I had Budwicks of the world get out there. I mean, when you do if you've got a tumor and you're doing Budwick, plan on growth of the tumor. I have never seen so much insane. I don't care if he was a biochemist. He was no offense. I got to hold my comments, because when you tell people to do cottage cheese, I don't care what oils you mix with it. You're telling them wrong. I've seen tumors grow in the Budwick program. No way. No way. And did plenty of enemas, okay? Now, how does the enema help your stomach? I've had no neurological problems like this until I switched to all grapes in February. No. Wasn't the grapes, unless you didn't wash the pesticides off of them. If you didn't wash the pesticides off of them, you could have given yourself some neurotoxicity. But that's not what causes pus coming out of the gums. You're trying to blame the grapes, and that's not the problem. All it was is expose what was going on with you. And then you're going back to the foods that suppressed, like feeding an ulcer. And then, boom, again, but worse. So you got to realize, guys, when you start detoxifying, your symptoms could exacerbate. Remember, like skin exploding open and things like this. This is just your opening doors. But let me tell you something, my friend. Your door is needing open bad. When you're oozing pus out of your gums, you're in trouble. The next thing is you can't remember what day it is and where you parked the car. I mean, this is bad stuff, guys. And you have to get yourself turned around here. You got to trust somebody sometime. And you're getting misinformation here, taking you way out. But you've got to get on an herbal program with the raw foods. When you're this advanced, you can't just do it with the raw. It's obvious. And you're misinterpreting your symptoms. So you want to fix this the right way, because you're not just a little cold and flu-like symptom. This is serious stuff. Your life here is going towards some bad changes. You want to fix this. How do I stop this? My kidneys have been filtering, so that shouldn't be a problem. Yes. You got to get back on the raw fruits, berries, and melons. Veggie wash them. Wash them good so you don't get neurotoxicity. So if you had neurotoxicity from the grapes, then you've got to clean that neurotoxicity out of you. But I doubt it. I think they really just exposed what was in you already. From everything you're telling me, this problem is not something simple grapes don't cause anything. They expose, though, but still, man, I don't like what I'm hearing here. How do I stop this? Okay, I have a ton of psoriasis. You have a ton of psoriasis. See, as I get deeper in your case, what I see is major lymph stagnation. So for the psoriasis, go play in some salt water here and there, but you've got to get your body detoxed. No matter what you see or what you experience, you have to trust somebody that knows what they're talking about. You should get on a counselor here and have them help you work yourself out of this. We don't charge that much, guys. We don't rip people off here. And when you're this hurting, you want to get a counselor to help you. And there's plenty of YouTubers that are pulling people out of these advanced levels as well. So you got help out there, but you got to get focused on the right help, or you can get yourself in deep doo-doo here by listening to people that don't know their butt from a hole in the ground. This would be serious stuff here. Psoriasis, that's even more showing you how bad your lymph system is backed up here. Pus oozing out of the gums, psoriasis on the body all over, nervous system spasming. I mean, hello? Oh. I have ton of psoriasis, so clearly I'm getting plenty of acids chewing up on me. I know you do, man. You know what, my friend? Just get focused on this. Get in here, get a counselor. You've got to find some money and something to get on some kits. You got to do something. You've got to work yourself out of this. So hook to a counselor. I know some of the counselors help you and don't charge you so much. So it's up to the counselor. It's up to Jen B. or Marcy. Tilla's coming next. He graduates from... he's going to he's getting his, I think, a master's, but in nutrition and health. Okay, so what else? Ingesting my horrible history. I don't even use soap or toothpaste. I use clay. I also only take a bath weekly to avoid toxic exposure from tap water. You're real good on one side, my friend, but on the other, you've got it. This is a extreme need of detoxification. Extreme need of detoxification. So you really need to get in and get on kidney formulas, adrenal formulas, GI tract, get on the full bore kits. This is the only way I know how to get you back out of this. Playing like this doesn't get you anywhere, as you see. So you really want to get full bore focused. And also when you go on raw and grapes and stuff like that, when you're advanced, just going on grapes and fruits and berries, use herbs to help you. It really makes a difference, especially with the kidneys. When you're so locked up like this and you go on grapes, they're not going to open you up that quick. Matter of fact, they could hydrate you and get the lymph going when the kidneys are still shut down. This could make you even have worse symptoms. Yeah. This is all about the kidney filtration thing again. I could ramble on and on about this. How does one person who is 25 years old, and look at the mess this kid's in. Listen, my friend, you got to let us help you get yourself out of this, and you can get yourself out of this. Felt fine all his life until 23, then crashed so hard and no amount of herbs and fruits can get him back up. What's this now? How does one person who is 25-year-old make who felt fine all his life until 23, then crashed so hard and no amount of herbs and fruits can get him back up? I disagree with you. Yet some people can drink milk, eat the worst sick animals till they are 40 and get sick. Yeah. You know, you have a point, that one. And that point of that one is good genes. Their genetics make all the difference in the world. You get these strong gene George Burns types, and my God, they can take chemo, they can take mounds of toxicity, and they still, and I just get, this is why you hear me say, strong constitution. We all have that here because we see you guys with strong constitutions can take yourself out of the deepest of hellvilles and drive your caddy right into Wellville. It's amazing. But those with genetic weaknesses, you're working on weaknesses on top of fluid problems. And I don't know what your eyes look like, son, but probably got some genetics going on. And guess where I think the bulk of them are? Gut, kidney, adrenal. You can have real chronic adrenals and kidneys. You're going to take a while to fix this. So you can't get too upset that no herbs and food. No. You just, no. It takes time. And you got to get on a focused detox. Have someone here help you that's focused. We'll work out the cost somehow. But you can't go on like this. 25 years old, pus coming out of your gums. But this is just what I see too. But I want to tell you something, guys. De-skin them. All I can say is those people that are eating those kind of foods you're talking about, they're not above the law. These are laws in place, guys. There are laws in place on this planet set up by the Creator itself. When you break them, you pay. You might not pay in the moment, but you pay in the future. And that's a problem. You didn't, and you're a good example of this. You didn't know you had a problem in your body till you were 23, and then you crashed. You don't crash overnight. You don't develop chronic and genetic and degenerative problems in the body overnight. It takes years. But then that fateful day, comes that fateful day, and bam, smack in the face. Now your body's gone down, and you wonder, what the hell? I've been good up till now. That's typical. You just have to realize that's typical. And these people that are eating this way, they're fooling themselves. They're not sustaining well. They will have their day in Hellville. They're developing it right now. So you just have to realize you're more of an advanced soul in an advanced body that needs help. But there's a reason for this. And if you get your focus right and someone to help you, you'll grow spiritually from this big time, and then you'll be able to help a lot of people who are stuck in the same way, and you'll know now that you have to get yourself focused on a journey. You can't just expect, a few things to help you. I can't heal this gut. Neurological problems killing me, teeth rotting, stiffness all over the place. See all that? That's extreme acidosis, and that's a problem. You're stiff head to toe, and that's systemically stagnant. You have what we would call lymphatic constipation, big time. And the problem is we don't have laxative pills for it. We have lymphatic pills, but it's such in a dehydrated state, and you have to consider, where's the door? The kidneys are the door. And if you're 25 years old, and I've said this for years, because I've watched this for years, guys, you young guys at 20 and gals at 20s and teenagers, you can have serious and kidney genetics. Therefore, you're going to have serious neurological and lymphatic problems. And that's just what we see, and that's going on. This is why St. Jude's is so busy. You might say it's the genetic weakness. Right there it is. You got it. You got it. You might say it's the genetic weaknesses, but in the earlier video you said my genes weren't that bad. Well, maybe they're not. And it's just stagnation. If your genes are not that bad, it's where the genes are that's problematic, such as the adrenal and kidneys. So I don't know what to tell you, man. You have to work yourself up. Nobody's down where you can't get yourself back. Nobody's there. Never had anybody there. We've had some advanced cancer people, but you can't look at that. At your age, there's no way that you're going to go your life and not fix this. But it's going to take you probably a year to fix it. So I think if you get focused, get someone here to help you and get focused and not worry about it, just let us work yourself down through this, you'll get okay and clean yourself out. So if not genes, what could it be? Is there no justice? Karma? It's all karma. It's all cause and effect. So I don't know what to tell you. There are some people. And I have one MS case. I love the guy dearly, but I'm getting the sense that it's karma, because he really couldn't get to the fruits till here lately, even though this person claims he's been on it for 3.5 years. But if you look at that, not really. You got to really stop and look at this, and nothing's easy. You can't just snap your finger and wish this type of mess away. It's going to take some hard work and some focused work. And even though you can see up and down, you need someone that's experienced to guide you. And this is why this is what the beauty about all these cases, matter of fact. The beauty about all these cases is that you get to see how hard this really is. It's simple to understand, but applying the laws of nature is not always easy. So you're bucking your conditioned state, you're bucking your emotions, the lack of understanding. There's so much. We have so much ignorance on this planet with this. I've never had anyone like you. I couldn't pull out of that at all, not even close. So let's take a look at your case here. Get a hold of one of the girls or something. Let's look at your case, my friend, and let's look at what's going on here. And so call into, why don't you call into Valerie? I don't know, you're the one I read the thing about the pus coming out of the gums. Give us a phone number and give her whatever information you can, get any blood work or anything, get to her whatever you can. We'll take a look at your case. I've got to go here, unfortunately. Dadgummit. I've got so much to read here. God, I feel like I just can't get to you all like I'd like to, but oh my God. Anyway, gosh. These were rather long ones. That's what I say. If they're real long like this, I only got to 3 cases here, so I apologize. But these are hurting cases, though. These are very bad cases, and they need help. Try not to get frustrated if you're a bad case, and you have to work hard to get yourself out of this. Don't get frustrated. It's just your physical body. And you're not your physical body. You're only using it. You can get it well. It can take time, but you can always get it well. If you can't, you're going to go on another trip, and that trip is generally better. So all I can tell you is just work on yourself. If you need professional advice, work with our clinic or the club here to help you. We're not that expensive, and at least get some advice for partly, help you for the first month or two so you get a rhythm to where you're going. But you can't give up. When you're this advanced, where you have things going on in the head, pus coming out of the gums, psoriasis all over the place, you can't get mad because it's going to take you a while to fix yourself. That's all I can say. I love you guys. You know, this is a tough level to be at. So only the strong survive. Remember that. Only you guys that are the strongest will survive this. Because this is tough. But this world is in its negative cycles. Remember that. So survival is the key, isn't it? And your survival is on a lot of different levels. There's survival physically, there's survival emotionally, there's survival mentally, and there's survival spiritually. The top survival is spiritually. That is pure consciousness. That is non-physical, of course. There's only one thing physical, and that's your physical body. Your emotions aren't physical. That's not a physical experience. Your thoughts are not physical experiences. They're so interwrapped and related you think they are, but they're not. Two totally different bodies for each one. Hopefully, some of you guys are out-of-body traveling. You'll see this and see how the God worlds are put together, and and very helpful to bring some understanding. But creation's massive, and that's not even a word that even comes close to how it is. And that's at all levels that people don't even understand. All frequencies, like frequencies are jammed at this level with radio and TV and everything else. It's jammed at a lot of levels with life. So you guys have fun today. What is this? People don't want to change their diets. Oh, yeah. Thanks. I remember that one. But, and I really mean that, you don't want to change your diet, suffer, because there's nothing you can do about it. This is the diet's a problem in the first place, our lifestyles. But we can blame everything outside of ourselves if we want, but won't get you anywhere. So we're here for each and every one of you, though. I want you to know that. And glad to help all of you. Our whole staff, they're all good people. And we're all just here to help everybody get better and stuff like that. Don't think this planet wants that. And if the world order has its way, a lot of you won't be on this planet. So be careful what your government forces you to do, like vaccines and stuff, because this is suspected the route of injection of this. So just be careful with that. Be careful what toxicity you allow to put in your body, that sort of thing. Because it's your world. And your health and happiness is directly geared to your ingestion, the food, the chemistry you're bringing into your body. And you'll feel good. Once you make past certain points, you'll feel so good, light, clean, everything's clean, your stools are clean, everything's clean. Your periods are minimal, everything is better. No cramping, no migraines, everything is better, 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 in all ways. So it's so worth going down this road. And a couple of you guys have no choice, or your life is not going to be too good. So, again, I love you guys. You take care of yourselves, and thank you all from the bottom of all of our hearts helping this world.